Thanks, Peter and John, for your open statements. Peter and John, would you accept there is a variety of opinions in relation to this issue in the disability community? Because we've had, witnesses at the committee that have a variety of views in relation to this. So would you accept that?
I wouldn't at this stage, because I don't think we've had enough. The sample is too small.
Right.
What I would say from the sample we've had, and I'm maybe not comprehensive, but I wasn't looking at Peter's notes when he was putting together his presentation, and he wasn't looking at mine. And yet there's a very strong similarity in a push to kind of what are the things that people need to kind of not have an easy life, but have a life that was worthy. Yeah? Now, and Rosaline, or Dr. Rosaline, I should call her, I know her too long to call her doctor or anything, but, and she was making the same point about give people the support that they need to actually live a life. And I feel that the issue is going that way. But we can hear, do you know what I mean? I don't want to I haven't come in here today in any sense in what I've said and said I'm speaking on behalf of.
Yeah. That's
Yeah?
right. Yeah.
So I think, Gino, that's where it's at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter?
I think the disability community is not a homogeneous community. So in terms of my involvement in the kind of living movement, we are disabled persons organisation, and we have colleagues across the world. So those organisations are working on the social model. They only all have concerns about assisted suicide.
Yeah. And I mean, I've worked in the disability kind of area, and I spent a lot of my time, advocating for assisted living. Assisted living is extremely important. But I also am of the opinion that in specific circumstances, somebody should have a say and should be able to die on their own terms. And I've said this many times before, but there's the vast majority of jurisdictions where assisted dying has been legislated for. On the grounds of disability, one could not avail of assisted dying, on the grounds of disability. And I agree with that. So in these specific circumstances, where somebody's come to the end of life, are you saying that in them circumstances, somebody shouldn't have a choice or a right, or whatever you want to call it, in circumstances where they're coming to the end of their life?
I'm saying now that, I'm now saying that now is the time to focus on this country getting a decent bedrock of life-enhancing services for people. That's the priority. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And John, even if we had all that, and I understand that there is huge deficits in relation to disability services. I understand that, and most people understand that. But I think conflating the issue around assisted dying is unhelpful. And there is an element of scaremongering in relation to issues that should not be conflated to assisted dying. And I just think that, again, that's unhelpful to the bigger debate.
Could I say, I very clearly, my opening remarks were very much, I can't see how you can talk about dying in any way without, the word doesn't make sense unless there's life beforehand.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, life comes before death. Life comes before death.
Yeah, and they're not two separate things.
No, they're complementary.
So that's where
They're complementary.
they can be. I think that's the issue. They're not always complementary. I suppose I'm saying in the sense that, and I'm hearing other people with disabilities saying, give us a chance to have a bit of a life before the other bit comes upon us, or before we're invited.
Right.
That's the trick in it, or that's the conundrum in it. Sorry, not a trick.
Yeah.
Conundrum in it.
Yeah. And I've said it before, You know, there is huge kind of deficits in relation to disability services. And the government should do more. You know,
I just think that should do. Sorry for me, but I think that'll be the flashpoint here. That'll be an issue.
Yeah.
Across the.
But even if them deficits were done, like, say overnight, in relation to disability services, would that change people's opinions, particularly in the disability community?
It would change the environment in which the discussion is taking place. It would change the environment.
It would give choice.
Right.
To disabled people to live. I think you say throughout the life stages and life course. You know, there's a danger that disabled people are seen as a homogeneous group. There's a danger that they're not seen as even childlike or to the life. So there's different life stages that disabled people experience different barriers throughout the life. So what you say, Gino, that about it was a proper access and proper support. Then you would have the choice to yeah.
No, I get it. I get that, Peter. I absolutely get it. But if we were to put, say, a recommendation in relation to this committee to say, look, on the grounds of disability, somebody could not avail of assisted dying. Would that change your opinion in relation to this?
What do you mean by the word disability?
On the grounds of disability.
What do you mean by that word?
Well, somebody with, let's put it this way, somebody that could avail of assisted dying would be in the last throes of their life, meaning months or weeks in certain circumstances. That would be somebody that's terminally ill, that has a diagnosis, life-limiting. To me, that's the kind of, I suppose, the crux of assisted dying. Now, in New Zealand, for example, they have specifically said in their provision, their legislation, that somebody on the grounds of disability could never avail of assisted dying. I completely agree with it. I completely agree with it. So, but if we put that in our recommendation, would that change?
Is that, when you talk about again, the language, like the assisted dying, assisted suicide, language in terms of word disability, are we talking about impairment label? Because when we talk about disability, we're talking about disabling barriers. The two are different things. So if you want to put in legislation that people with impairment labels are not included in this discourse, that's different.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I'll come back to the next round.
Yep. Thank you very much.